What's up, guys? It's the Jersey Jaguar, and I got 4 jerseys right here. Different player, different city, different team, same sport, but what else connects these 4 jerseys with each other? It's the Field of Dreams game. When you hear Field of Dreams, you probably automatically think of the movie from 1989 starring Kevin Costner. Well, we're about to look into these jerseys in depth. We're going to review them and rank them and see which ones come out on top for not only team, but also to see which season was better. 2021 last year or this year's 2022. Let's get to it. All right, so we're going to look briefly at the history of the Field of Dreams. For those of you who don't know, it is a 1989 film starring Kevin Costner that took place in Dyersville, Iowa. Now, a corn farmer was out in his cornfield and he heard the famous line whispered to him, "If you build it, they will come." He did that. He built a baseball stadium by his cornfield and the White Sox played the Yankees. Now, fast forward to real times in 2020, the White Sox were supposed to play the Yankees in a stadium on the same grounds that the MLB built. However, it was postponed due to COVID. Now, in 2021, the White Sox ended up beating the Yankees in a walk-off home run by Tim Anderson. And in 2022, the Cubs just played the Cincinnati Reds and won. Now, guys, why is all that important? Because in each of those games, each team had their own jersey. So we're going to look at different aspects of the jerseys like materials, construction, uniqueness, etc. And we're going to rank them individually and we're going to rank them by season along with reviews. And we're going to see which team came out the best and we're going to see which season came out the best. All right, guys, let's get to it. All right, so being that the Chicago White Sox was the original home team in the movie, we're going to start with the White Sox. Now, guys, the movie based their jersey off of the 1919 Chicago White Sox, aka the Chicago Black Sox, from their scandal with the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series in real life. And obviously for the Field of Dreams game, they based it off of the movie. Now, guys, as a side note, the White Sox were the first team to do a turn back the clock, which was in 1991. And it does look pretty close to this. However, it has a different color. It has the sun color, and it does have the piping going down. All right, guys, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go briefly over the jerseys, each one of them individually. Then I'm going to rank them, and then we're going to rank them by season after individually, all right? So getting back to the jerseys, you guys can see it is navy on cream. Now, the pinstripes are navy, and it looks absolutely beautiful on top of the cream. Now, guys, the front crest and the rear numbers are both navy felt, wool felt, on top of the regular Nike Authentic material, which is a version of dimple mesh. And guys, if you're wondering what dimple mesh is, I'll be doing a video on different types of materials that are actually used for the bases of the jerseys. All right, so moving on, it does have navy blue braiding on the sleeves, nicely knit. And we're gonna flip it around now, nice and slow. And as you can see, it does have a stylized font. Now, guys, the font is stylized, however, it's not too extravagant. It is a nice narrow stroke, giving a cool effect to the jersey. Number 10 is Yoan Moncada. Yeah, he's not doing the best right now, but still, you know, a cool choice and happy to have him in the collection. All right, we're going to start with the close-ups of the jerseys. So, as you can see, the braiding is actually really well done. It's stitched into the jersey. White Sox logo and the Yankees watermark are felt. You can see that. And then, like I said, the Nike Authentic material, which is thin, it's a variation of dimple mesh. You guys seen it on the flex base jerseys as well. All right. Standard tagging from the Authentic. Nothing special there. Let's see the back of the jersey real quick. Right, and again, We have that narrow box font. Looks beautiful with the felt. Now I love the way the lines, meaning the braiding on the sleeves, is really subtle, and it adds just a hair of flair, woo, to the jersey. All right, really well done, especially with those pinstripes. Next up, we have the White Sox rival in the game in 2021, and that is the New York Yankees. Now, guys, as you can see, they went the simple route. However, they executed it in an awesome fashion. Now, that New York is a nice, narrow font on the front, and just like the White Sox, the front and the back are both navy wool felt. All right, guys, there's pretty much no other details to this jersey besides the front watermark, and on the back, we have the stylized 99, and as most of you guys know, that is Aaron Judge, who's having an awesome 2022 season. Now, guys, that font is narrow just like the White Sox was. However, it does have a little bit more style to it. And actually, this 99 does look pretty cool. Now, guys, this jersey is based off of the 1935 New York Yankees. And they actually made it pretty close to it, you know, minus a few tweaks here and there. Now, guys, as a side note, the Yankees rarely do turn back the clocks, aka throwback games, so this was a treat to see. All right, let's get into the fine details up close with it. All right, and the Yankees close up, as you can see, is just really clean and really smooth. You know, it does fit the turn back the clock style and vintage style that the Field of Dreams game was going for. I love how they took the old font and made it really thin and cleaned it up. Again, just like the Sox, felt. Really nothing else more to the jersey besides a beautiful, clean look. All right, and now the back of the Yankees jersey, as you can see, that font is a showstopper, especially with the Aaron Judge 99. Man, does that look awesome. Really narrow, really extra stylized, guys. All right, guys, next up for the 2022 series, we have the Chicago Cubs. Now, the jersey's pretty cool. I do like it. You know, it's not my absolute favorite from the four, but they did a decent job, you know. Pretty close to the actual 1929 season. Now, guys, unlike the Sox and the Cubs, unlike the Sox and the Yankees, this one is just tackle twill, all right, on the front crest and as well as the rear numbers. Now, going through the construction of the jersey, this is what I was referring to as, and this is called a sun collar. If you want to look a little bit closer. All right. And guys, on the sun collar, it does have navy, white, navy braiding, and then it has the navy piping going all the way down, and it has the huge Chicago C. One thing about Chicago C's in baseball that I don't freaking understand, a lot of teams had C's in baseball and in sports, and the majority of the time they look the same or look close to the same. It gets me angry. There's so many different things that you could do with your C. Make something different, all right? However, it's there. What are you going to do about it? It does look cool, though, because the navy is nice and thick and the red is a little bit thinner. And then we got this guy, all right? We got a little cub bear who's walking around looking like he's carrying a giant diploma. Now, guys, obviously, I know it's supposed to be a baseball bat, but it looks like his huge diploma or some kind of map to nowhere. All right, guys, we're going to flip it around. And now, unlike the other three jerseys, the Cubs does have multi-layer twill. They do have red on top of navy tackle twill. Guys, you know, it does look cool on the cream jersey. And it looks cool how you have different variations of color, how you got the striping here with multiple layers. And then you have the single layer navy, and then you got multiple again. So there is some variation in this jersey. You know, it's decent. It's not my favorite, but they did do a semi-adequate job with it. All right. So we're going to get into the close-ups. But before we get into the close-ups of the jersey, guys, the Cubs did wear this or something really similar to it in 2014. So it would have been cool to kind of see them do turn back the clock jersey that they haven't done yet. and use that in the Field of Dreams game. Not bad though, not bad. All right, guys, let's move on. Oh, also one thing too I want to mention is that the jersey, if you haven't seen the pictures before this, it is a 3/4 button down. All right, so the buttons do not go all the way to the bottom. All right, and now we got the close-up of the Cubs. You know, actually, guys, like I keep saying, it's not that bad of a jersey. I actually do like it. They just could have or should have done something different. I love the way the accents with the sleeve braiding and on the sun collar are different than the braiding on the jersey itself. Now, in terms of materials, as you can see, it's all tackle twill. The bear's cool. I like him. It's the wandering bear with his map to nowhere. All right, and on the back, we have a standard font, red on navy tackle twill. You know, it does look cool with the other parts of the jersey. Pulled together nicely. Font's just basic font, not too bad. All right, and finally we had the Cincinnati Reds. Now, I don't know what bonehead team decided to come up with the jerseys for the 2022 Field of Dreams game. Guys, you have the cream-colored Cubs playing the white pinstripe Cincinnati Reds. How does it make sense? Technically, the Cubs is closer, so they should be cream, I guess. And the Reds are a little bit farther, so you would have guessed that they're the away team. But in that regard, why not choose a whole different jersey? The Reds have in their jersey history a full navy jersey with red details and looks awesome. Why not base it off that? Now we move on. It is a white jersey with navy pinstripes. Okay, not bad. It also has the sun collar like the Cubs. Similarities. And guys, it has the C. Do you see what I'm talking about? How the C is really similar to the Chicago C, which is also similar to other C's. Again, be more unique. Do something a little bit different. They have some cool logos throughout their history. Use it. Guys, moving on, the Reds right here is single-layer twill, and the C itself is twill as well, multi-layer twill. Now, guys, on this Reds, you'll see in the close-up part of this video that it does have pretty close-knit zigzag stitching on it. We're going to flip it around and bleh. Red, single-layer numbers, okay, fair enough, but guys, why wouldn't you make it felt? It would have given it a little bit more pizzazz. Number two, why not use a different font? The font's not horrible, but it's just plain. Especially when you look at the Cubs, you have two teams wearing almost the same color, and then now this one's just plain all over the place. They got almost the same logo. The only difference is, really, and this is also similar, is that this is a half button up versus the Cubs 3/4 button up. Like, come on, guys. What's going on with this thing? Again, not bad overall. I have seen worse jerseys in the past, but is what it is. All right, let's get into the fine details of it. All right, and the close-up of the Reds, as you guys can see, it's just a plain white jersey with navy striping. Now, they could have done something different. I think if they would have added piping right here on this part of the sun collar and then have it going right here around, that actually would have spiced the jersey up and would have made it look a little bit more flashy and definitely better on camera. Guys, we have a very similar C to the Chicago, or the Chicago is similar to this C, whichever way you want to look at it. Tackle twill again. Now this C has less predominant navy, and as you can see, it is zigzag stitch, but because the letters are so small, the zigzag stitch creates almost a chain stitching effect. However, it is just zigzag stitched. That's cool. I do like that part of the jersey, probably the best. All right, and flipped over, as you guys can see, nothing special, basic fonts. The wool felt would have done justice to this jersey and would have made it that much more enjoyable. However, it is just standard single layer tackle twill. I mean, guys, the jersey's not ugly. It's just not anything special or anything I go out of my way to get, especially when you consider that they wore this one before a couple of years ago. All right, so we're going to get to the fun part of the video, and this is the thing we all been waiting for, and it's the rankings of the jerseys individually, followed by which season took the win. Now, starting at number 4, we do have the Cincinnati Reds. All right, and I gave the Reds a high 6, low 7, just due to like not being original. You know, they wore this jersey back in 2019, which is based off the 1919 jersey, and it just lacks a lot of substance, especially when you consider the fact that it's a white jersey with pinstripes and they played away versus a home team wearing cream. Now the Reds, with as many jerseys as they had in their history, they could have chose a gray jersey or their navy jersey with the red details that they wore before. That would have been awesome. In addition, there's really no stylized fonts. I mean, outside the color, the C logo and the sun collar and not having a full button down is too closely related to the Cubs. So based on that, I have to give it a lower score. If you look at the jersey by itself, it's cool, but it's not like amazing. And at number 3, we do have the Chicago Cubs. With all that said, for the same reasons, actually, the Cubs just wore this one a few years ago, back in 2014. It is a cool jersey. However, I would like to see something different. Just like the Reds, the Cubs do have a long and extensive jersey history. Now, no felt numbers again. And again, outside the logo, the collar, and the color, it does have too many similarities with the away team, which was the Reds. And guys, the jersey itself, though, is cool. You know, it does have a lot of variation into it. I just think that they could have done something different and just been a little bit more original. But again, 7.5 is still good. It's still a solid jersey on its own. All right, and at number 2, we had the New York Yankees with a score of an 8.5, which is awesome. Now, following suit, the Yankees kept it simple, but keep in mind the Yankees rarely do alternate jerseys. All right, so with this one, it was awesome for this game. They did have that old school narrow font New York on the front and felt. And what really did this jersey justice and made the jersey as successful as it was, in my opinion, is that beautiful font on the back in felt letters. It's narrow, it's stylized, it works well, and on that 99 Aaron Judge specifically, it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, could the Yankees have done something completely different? Sure, maybe kept the whole jersey, but instead of having New York on the front, maybe have a older version of their Yankees logo. That would have been cool, but still a solid jersey. Still like it. If you could find it, pick one up. And then number 1, we got the Chicago White Sox with a score of a 9.5. You know, honestly, there's not really too much more they could have done to this jersey. I mean, there's always room for improvement. However, this thing's pretty close to perfect as you're going to get. You know, the jersey has the navy on top of cream color scheme, which works extremely well. You know, the sleeve braiding adds just a little bit of spice to it. In addition, that huge Sox logo on the front is awesome. And it does have that narrow black letter font on the back. Now, guys, I'm really happy with this jersey. They're extremely hard to get. If you could find one, pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed with it. All right, now in terms of season, obviously I do have the 2021 season winning. I give them a solid 9. You know, the Sox with their 9.5 with that beautiful jersey that does resemble the one from the actual movie, which is based off the 1919, is just a strong punch in this fight. And the Yankees keeping it simple while still looking awesome really added to that combination. Now, so we gave them a 9. Now for the 2022 season, I'm going to have to give them a solid 7 at best, you know, like maybe even lower than that. The Cubs jersey is cool. The Reds isn't bad. However, there are just too many similarities within the jersey. They're both recycled from other seasons, lacking detail, lacking originality. They could have done better with them. So 2021, you were the first and you did it good. All right, so just like in the game in 2021, the White Sox come out with the victory, and overall, the Sox and the Yankees stole the show for which season was better. Now, guys, if you like this video, I'd appreciate liking and subscribe. And more importantly, I would really like to see your thoughts on which 2 teams you'd like to see in 2024, being that 2023 is not going to happen. In addition to which 2 teams you'd like to see face off, which jerseys would you like to see them wear? Would you like to see them wear ones from their history, or would you like to see something like the Sox did and do something original specifically for this game? Well, guys, also, if there's a video you'd like to see in the future, don't hesitate to put it in the comments. I'll do my best to get it done. I'll see you at the next one.